How many hours, days, weeks, and months have you spent creating the perfect coaching package, the perfect online course, and still you cannot fill the seats? Still, you cannot sell it to anybody, and you're still scrambling for ways to make money in your coaching business. Way too many. I'm going to guess. Hi, my name is Ina Coveney. I am a business coach and I specialize in monetizing tiny audiences. And if you don't have a huge audience, you landed in the right place, because it is possible for you to have a six-figure coaching business, even if you don't have a big audience. And that's all we talk about in this podcast called Get Clients First, where we talk about all of the marketing strategies that you need to succeed in your coaching business, regardless of the size of your audience. We also have interviews with top coaches in the world, so go back and soak in some of their wisdom in some past episodes. In these solo episodes are basically me and you talking about coaching, marketing, and getting you to make money in your business. All right, so I am ready for this. In my last episode, I told you that I completely rebranded my business seemingly overnight. You can go back and check out how I did that and what my tips are for doing that. That is episode 229 of this podcast. And I am in a new little cozy solo episode setup in my office. It's this corner right here. I'm going to confess right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, which, by the way, you can now see my solo episodes on YouTube, just click on the link in the show notes or go to getclientsfirstpodcast.com/YouTube. It will take you straight there. I'm going to confess, the setup is not done yet. And shout out to my biz bestie, Lisa Smith, for helping me actually make it look the way that it does now. Because this thing was over there and this thing was over there. She totally helped me make it look really nice. I do not possess the skill of setting things up nicely. And I will confess that wallpaper, which is amazing, that one, if you're watching on the YouTube video, it's a rock wallpaper. It goes all the way to about here, because I did not order enough to cover the whole wall, so I'm still waiting for that shipment to come in. Anyway, thank you for attending my TED Talk about my new setup, and thanks to everybody who gave me so much love online for the new rebrand, because I am having so much fun with it. As you can see, I even have gold pillows here. Anyway, if you're listening on the podcast, you should definitely head over to the YouTube channel and go and subscribe, and make sure to turn on the little bell so you can get notifications when these new episodes happen. So today is all about creating an irresistible coaching package. And this idea for the episode came to me because I am currently finishing up a program that I created where I teach new coaches how to create that irresistible offer. And it became really obvious to me that not everybody knows these secrets. And I actually sent out an email recently where there is actually a wrong way to create your coaching package. And the problem with that wrong way is that it is the easiest way to create a coaching package, to create an online course, to create your next offer. There is a very easy way to do it, and it is the wrong way. And it is the one that is not going to get you money. It's not going to get you signups. It's going to keep you stuck where you are. In fact, once I tell you what it is, you're going to be like, wait, that's what I did. Why was that wrong? Right? So why don't we start there? Before I tell you the three things, I always like to give you in my solo episodes kind of like a three-pointer structure, so that you always know like what is it that you're going to get here. So I'm going to get to my three main areas that you need to know if you want to create an irresistible coaching offer. Okay. But first, why don't we talk about the wrong way, because you are very familiar with it, because I promise you've probably done it. I know that I have done it. Okay. Here's the wrong way to create a coaching package: to go ahead and create it and put it out there. What? What do you mean, Ina? That sounds like the only way to create a coaching package. Actually, it isn't. And after this episode, you're going to understand why. So here's the deal. You are going to hear this from a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches will just tell you, hey, don't worry about a thing, just go and create, right? And they'll tell you this about everything. They'll tell you this about creating content. They'll tell you, hey, don't worry about who you're speaking to specifically yet. Just start creating content and just put yourself out there and see what happens, right? There's a lot of advice like that out there. And I just want to kind of tune your ear as to why that advice is given. It's not that it's bad advice. If I was sitting across from someone and they were telling me that they had all of these fears about putting themselves out there, about putting their offers out there, about the reaction those offers would get, you know what I would tell them? I would give them exactly the same advice. I would just say, just do it. Just go ahead and create it. Just go ahead and put out that content. Just start talking about it, right? And I would tell them to just peel the Band-Aid and just do it. So that advice has a place and time in your life. That advice is really good if you are suffering from paralysis. If you're legit not doing anything, if you're legit just sitting and waiting for confidence to come your way, for inspiration to strike, right? If you're waiting for these things and nothing is happening and you're still not getting anything done, as your coach, I am just going to tell you, listen, just do it. Just peel the Band-Aid, just do it. It doesn't matter. Progress is better than perfect. It doesn't, done is better than perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go and do something. That's what I would tell you, okay? I would be the first to tell you that. But there comes a time and there comes a point in your business where that is not what's stopping you, where you are actually putting yourself out there, where you are creating content every single day, where you're putting out offers every single day or every single week or every single month, where you've already tried your hand at doing launches, right? You've already been putting yourself out there. And now you're here and thinking to yourself, okay, how do I create an irresistible offer? How do I create something that is going to be amazing? The advice that you would get for that can't be, oh, just try something and put it out there. Because your problem is not paralysis. Your problem is accuracy. Your problem is that whatever it is that you've been putting out and creating is not grabbing hold. And that's the problem that you need to fix. It's not your willingness or your ability to put yourself out there. Can everybody just take a drink every time I say put yourself out there? Because I think I've already said it like 15 times in just this episode, right? Your problem is not being afraid of being visible. That's not it. Your problem is accuracy. You are doing the thing, but you're not doing it right. You're doing the thing, but you're not doing it for the right people. It's not the right thing for the right audience. It's not the right audience for the right thing. It is time for you to focus on the accuracy of what you're doing, not just doing something. You are way past that piece of advice that says, just go and do it. So the way that most people create their coaching packages is just by doing it. It's just by, well, I know because I'm the expert, I know that my people have to go through A, B, C, D, and E. So clearly that's what they need, right? Maybe. But do they know that that's what they need? Is that what they're looking for? That's where our advice begins, with the accuracy of your irresistible offer. It's no longer enough for you to just do it. You gotta do it right. So let's start with our 3 tips for creating your irresistible coaching package. All right, let's start with number 1. Okay, and guess what? I have my notes right here. Let's start with number 1. Haha, you're not gonna like this one, by the way. I just got to, you're not gonna like this one. I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. The first time that you put out an offer, the first time that you go and ask people what it is that they want and you start giving it to them, the first time, you gotta let go of the money. I told you weren't gonna like it because you probably have been undercharging all this time anyway, right? You have probably been charging pennies on the dollar for your services and you're sick and tired of it. You're sick and tired of struggling, of not making enough money to make this work. You're sick and tired of it. So when you hear me talk about, hey, the first time you do it, the money's not important, you're going to be like, oh, hell it is. Or hell it isn't. The hell it isn't, right? You're going to be thinking to yourself, well, then I'm going to stop listening right now because clearly this is not what I need. What I need is for somebody to teach me how to sell high ticket offers. Okay, then visit another podcast, because what I'm here to do is to teach you how to have a six-figure coaching business, even if you have a small audience. And the only thing a large audience coach can teach you is what works for them. And what works for them is not the same thing that's going to work for you. So if you really want to hear how to get there, how to get to the six figures, no matter the size of your audience, this is what you need to be listening to, okay? You gotta let go of the need to make $5,000 in your next sale. You gotta let that go, okay? Because right now we're going for accuracy. We want to deliver the right thing to the right people. And the only way to do that is to get the butts in the seats, okay? And if you have already been selling $5,000 packages, then I don't think this is the right podcast for you. It sounds like you're doing great. It sounds like you're getting clients. It sounds like it doesn't matter what size of audience you have. You're already making money. It sounds like this is not the podcast episode for you. But if that's not you yet, if you have been charging hundreds of dollars, maybe you've been offering services for $25 an hour. Maybe the maximum that you've ever charged is like $2,000 for something, and that was a while ago, and you wish those good old days would come back. Then it's time for you to create a signature offer and do it the right way. And the first step is to get the butts in the seats, is to find out who out there needs your help and to get them to accept your help so that you can create something for them. And the price at this point is completely irrelevant. The first time that you sit people down to help them, you're not doing it because they're paying you $5,000 and finally you have validated this offer. No, the first thing we need is to know ask them, what is it that they need so that you can give it to them for whatever price they're willing to pay. They need to guarantee that they're going to go through the steps in your program. And this takes us to point number 2. You need to collect that feedback. Okay? So we started with point number 1, and that is that if you're building a signature offer that is going to take your business to 6 figures, you need to get the butts in the seats at all cost. Not for free. A beta program like this, you don't do for free. Okay? You gotta charge something, but it's not gonna be the $5,000 that you have in mind that down the line you'll be able to charge. Right now, we need the feedback. We need the butts in the seats and we need that feedback. So that's point number 2. While you're guiding people through this brand new experience that you're just creating for them because they told you that this is what they need, you need to be able to collect that feedback. You need to be able to guarantee that they are gonna not ghost the program, that they're going to come to every meeting, that they're going to do what you say so that you can prove that your methods work. Because many of us, we start coaching and people tell us, hey, you don't really need a certification for this. There's really no regulating body telling you what you can do with coaching or not. So really, as long as you are a few steps ahead of somebody else, just teach them what you know and then just continue, right? So we think we know what that thing is and that it would work. So if we offer it to someone and then they don't do the work, then we're like, oh, well, they didn't do the work and that's why they didn't get the result. So we end up, when we don't collect this feedback, when we don't make our clients go through the process, we end up with a graveyard of this offer, right? We end up with a whole bunch of casualties. We end up with a whole bunch of clients that, quote unquote, tried to do the program, but they didn't. And they ended up with no results. And here we are thinking, well, I guess I just need the right kind of clients. Right? So we keep looking for those clients and they keep falling off the boat and we're still not getting testimonials and we're still not collecting feedback and we still don't have an offer that we can guarantee actually works. We only have the theory that it works. No more. No more. After this episode, you're going to understand that in order to build a 6-figure offer that you can guarantee results on, you're going to need people to do the work. And for that, number one, get the butts in the seats. We need people to start going through this. Number two, we need to collect their feedback. We need to collect their feedback. We need to know where they're getting stuck, what questions they're having, right? Because once we collect all that feedback, we got the butts in the seats. They're doing what we say. We're collecting the feedback of where they're getting stuck, what questions they're having, what can I answer for them, what would help them move smoother through this process. We get to point number 3, which is the mecca of this. That is that after you're done doing that first batch, that first test bed for this new offer, you need to iterate on it. Ina, what does that mean to iterate on an offer? You need to offer it again. This time, you'll increase the price because the first few people that went through it the first time, they're going to have feedback for you, right? They're going to have testimonials for you. You're going to be able to guarantee their results because they went through it and you saw them get results because they did the work. And now the second time that you offer it, you have all of these testimonials. You can guarantee that this is going to work. You can increase the price of it and continuously request feedback. You can actually go through this iteration process as many times as it takes. You can re-record your videos for your program as many times as it takes. You can just keep perfecting it until after however amount of time you give yourself for this test bed, right? Could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years. You will have an offer that is so ironclad perfect, that has so many amazing results and testimonials that it will be absolutely irresistible to your ideal client. So let's recap. To create your irresistible offer, you gotta, number 1, let go of the money, focus on the results. Number 2, collect that feedback and get those testimonials. Number 3, iterate, continue to evolve your offer until it is so perfect, until it so guarantees results that it will be absolutely irresistible to anybody that you pitch it to. If you want to learn more about this, about how to get clients, even if you have a small audience, come and check out our free masterclass. Go to tinyaudience.masterclass.com, sign up right now, and you will get a completely new dimension for what it takes to truly monetize your tiny audience. And let's do that now. There is no time to waste. You could begin your process of creating your beta offer and iterating on it until you get a 6-figure offer in your hands. And that process begins now. Go to tinyaudience.masterclass.com. I will see you there. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please put in a comment. Please send me a message to answer all your questions and keep the conversation going there. I'll see you on the next one.